Do you read for fun as well as for work?
I definitely do as much as I can. I wish I had a little bit more time to do that. But yeah, I always love to see, what's been recently published. I have a very long to read list. I'm always keeping track of, new things that are coming out that are grabbing my attention and adding them to the list. But yeah, as much as I can, I'm also reading for fun.
So how much reading do you typically do on a daily basis, weekly basis?
Yeah, so I am reading pretty much every night after work when I get home. So during work hours, we're a 10 to 6 office, which is just kind of loose. I'm often there later. But when I get home, like when I go to bed, that's what I'm doing pretty much every night, reading for at least a couple hours, whether it's a client manuscript or a potential new client manuscript, or going through queries. So it's a pretty much nightly ritual for me.
So you could be reading somebody's query letter in bed in your jammies with the covers up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Or on my couch, depending if I've made it to my room yet. But also I have my query email on my phone, so I'm probably looking at it a little too much. Just sometimes on the train, on my way to work, even when I'm at work, sometimes I glance at my phone and my query email. So I'm always kind of glancing at least. Even if I'm not fully reading yet, I'll see what's coming in and have an idea, and I'm like, ooh, that stood out to me. I'm gonna look at that one a little bit closer. But I do read all my queries with the help of my wonderful assistant Danielle, so they are definitely all read. So I read them as much as I can.
So if you're looking at your phone to see a query that's come in, is that one that Danielle's already looked at and referred on to you? Or are
Nope.
you both hitting the inbox at the same time?
No, it's just me seeing it as it comes in. So I'm looking at everything, and Danielle will send things over to me too. But I'm always in there and glancing, so I'm seeing pretty much anything that comes in.
And how many queries are you receiving on a daily basis, weekly basis?
It varies. So after I go to a conference or I do, a pitch contest or something like that, it could be, 20, 30 in one day. I would say, I would say it's at least 10 a day. Sometimes quite a bit more. It really varies.
Are there busy seasons for queries?
Not really. I don't feel like there's ever a time where I'm getting a significantly more than others. Fall might be a little bit more busy before the holidays, and maybe right in the new year might be a little more volume, but in general, it's pretty consistent, the amount of queries I'm getting.
So, special pro tip for the people smart enough to listen: is there a particularly good time of year to send you a query?
No, not really. Honestly, I don't ever close to queries. I know some agents do. So I'll see them no matter when you send them. So there's not really a better time than others.
I was hoping you'd tell me April
The
4th to
secret,
April
yeah.
17th. That's the time. So, if when you're seeing those queries, you're checking them on your phone.
Mhm.
Um, how are you evaluating them, and how can anybody listening to this hope to stand out and get your attention?
Yeah, I start at the subject line. Like that's one of the first things. I get a lot of queries that just say query in the subject line, and that's it. Or to Christa Heschke. And I have a specific query email, which is very clear on our website. And then I have kind of my one from all my other professional things, at emails from editors and all that. So that email, I know it's a query if it's going there. So I like to see a specific subject line, and usually that would include, the title and whether it's YA or if it's a picture book or it's a middle grade. Because never underestimate the power of a good title. Sometimes just by seeing YA mystery and it has a really great title, I'm like, ooh, I got to see this. I'm really looking for mystery right now. So I'd say definitely be specific and don't ignore the subject line of an email. And then once I get into it, the hook is always important, that one or two liner where it really gives me a sense of what the project is going to be about and what makes it different. I think it's really helpful also when authors use really good comparative titles so I can get more of a sense of what it is I'm going to be reading, a brief summary. If it's a genre I'm even looking for. So and also the details too, like word count, genre, age range. and a little bit about you too, like a little bio. So all those things I'm looking at, and that helps me determine whether I want to read on or not.
Gotcha. So let's break that down a little bit. What's a great subject line look like? Like The Haunted Shovel, a middle grade novel.
I like The Haunted Shovel. I like that. I'd be curious, like, yes. So the title, the age range, and then the genre in the subject line, I think is good. More than that, then it just gets to be too long.
Yeah, then it's just the query.
Just give me the basics. Don't waste time like saying query or for Christa, or like I said, any of that stuff. Just straight to the point, what I'm going to be seeing when I open the query.
And then you open it up, and of course, it doesn't say anything dumb like "Dear Agent," because that's what are you doing? It says "Dear Christa
Dear
Heschke."
Editor. I get that too sometimes.
Dear book person.
Or to the wrong person and totally wrong name.
But if it's a good query, are you still kind of curious and just send them a quick correction? Hey, I'm actually Christa, but I like your idea.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna not read it. It's a little red flag if I see that maybe they didn't do the research, or they just sent a big mass email to like every agent and didn't really think about, who might be the best fit for my work. What do they actually work on? That means a lot to agents, that you kind of have an idea of who you're approaching and have a reason for it. But yeah, I mean, even if it has one of those mistakes, I still will read into the query and see if it's something that piques my interest.
So if it is a mass email, I mean, is that even worth your time?
No, because I feel like a lot of the mass emails where it's very clear, like I've gotten emails where you see all the CCs. So you see every agent that's on there. And I was like, oh man, no.
You're not impressed that that's an efficient writer?
What? Sorry?
So you're not impressed that that's an efficient writer?
No, because usually then the rest of the email is very, it's not specified to a specific person. They don't really know what I work on. So generally when you read the query, it kind of matches the fact that they didn't really address it to anyone specifically.
Well, I assume anybody smart enough to be watching or listening to this show already knows that that's a huge no-no, and they won't even think about it.